Okay, so on this question now, we are looking at the fact of some different graphs. Let me start again with the fundamental graph they're giving us. Y equals square root of x. Y equals square root of x starts right in the middle at the origin and goes up to the right. It's right here, as they say, y square root of x is shown in black. So it's this one right here. So there's just normal square root of x right there. Okay, now what about all the other graphs? Well, let me start with the red one here. See how this red one goes to the left? Do you know what's going to make that happen? I imagine you're guessing one of those two negative signs, and you're right. How do we know which one? Well, ask yourself the question, was that a sideways effect or an up-down effect? Well, sideways. It went left instead of right. It's not up-down. It's still going up. It's just up and to the left now instead of up and to the right. So it's a sideways, right? It's a sideways. So where do you place a negative sign to make something have a sideways effect? Inside the root or outside the root? Inside. Because if you're inside, what's this first one? It's this one right here. This is the one that's negative. The negative is inside because anything in X's world, inside the root with X, is walking in his shoes, has a sideways effect, doesn't it? Because remember, the X-axis is the one that goes sideways. The Y goes up and down. Whereas the other one, the green one down here, that's going to be, or I'm sorry, that's not the green one. It's the blue one. It's the blue one. This one right here, that's where the negative is on the outside. So I'll jump down and do this one. This one's blue right here. See how the negative is on the outside of the root? So it's not in X's world. It's not a sideways effect. It's a down. It flipped it down. It's an up-down effect instead of a sideways effect. Everybody see that? So it's all about, did the graph change? Did it have a sideways effect, right? Because here's the original square root of X. There's the original. This one flipped sideways because the negative is in X's world. This one flipped down because the negative is outside of X's world. So it's not an X effect, it's a Y effect. It's an up-down effect. Now, the other two are probably easier to tell. You can probably just guess at those. The orange one here, that one's higher up. So it's going to be the 2, isn't it? Right? It's just higher up. So that's going to be the square root of 2x. And then the green one is lower down. So that's going to be the square root of the 0.5x because 0.5 is lower, right? It's less than 1. So it shrinks it down on that. And so there we go. So the main trick is, what should be tested on the exam is how does the negative sign affect the right, left, or the up, down? So again, it's all about if the negative is outside, then it's not in X's world. It's not walking in his shoes. It's not having a sideways X effect. It's a Y, it's up, down. Whereas if it's in X's world, then it's an X effect. It's a sideways, and it flips it to the left. So there we go.